Hi, welcome to the PDPsi show. I'm Jen Mendoza, and today's guest is Triong. Triong is a senior studying ISOM. He crossed Fall 17. He's IOTA 50. So how are you doing, Tree?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right. So the semester's finally coming to an end. How are classes
Mm-hmm.
for you, man?
Those are okay. This senioritis is really kicking in, so it's like home stretch. That trying to like get there. So other than that, they're alright for what they are.
Yeah, it's ISOM, right? Or are
Yeah.
you doing something else this semester?
I saw, but I'm also doing a minor in business analytics, so I'm trying to more focus on like data analytics side. Um, so that's essentially what I'm doing for this like semester and forward. But yeah.
Data analytics? How is it?
Yeah, it's kind of strenuous. I have to use different types of programs to kind of just figure out different data. Stuff like what is it? Xstat. Um, it's just like an additional like program with Excel where you can run different like graphs and diagrams on the information you can put in. But that's about it. But yeah.
Okay, so what made you interested in business analytics?
Um, it was like one of those classes that's kind of mandatory for business. Where it's like it's like especially specifically data analytics. You have to take it if you're a business major. It's because it's part of the business core. And I was taking it and I actually enjoyed it a little bit better than typically the programming side of like my major. Um, which like is great and all, but I realized that maybe having that technical side, but also that business application side might help me the best. So it's more of the versatility what kind of attracted me towards that side. But yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. So you said programming for ISOM. What does that
Mhm.
involve?
It's not necessarily like CS programming. Like I know CS, like you guys typically create the program. For ISOM is more like scripting, like JavaScript and stuff. So in like SQL, JavaScript and stuff like that. Um, More logic based, I would say, instead of just creating one out the whim. Um, but yeah, I like it's one of those things where it's like it's cool. I can learn it just to have the experience, and also it's a good um, it, it's one of those good like what's that called, skills to have, especially going into the like work field in the business field. But also I would like to have some versatility with what I'm doing. So yeah.
It's pretty cool. So how do you balance that? It sounds like you have a lot on your plate in terms of academics with your role as a brother.
Oh, are you trying to ask if like how I got myself?
Yeah, like how do you balance your academics and as your
Uh,
role as like a brother? Or, well, you're also one of the older brothers in the fraternity at the moment, so.
mhm. Well, honestly, it's just more of like planning ahead and seeing what you, and seeing like what you can like realistically achieve within a certain time. Like let's say, if we have a meeting or if I have an event I have to go to, it's more of like I would rather do all my stuff in advance. And then so I have extra room time to kind of plan out what I can do or what I can input in with the fraternity. It also comes down to it also comes down to like since I am more of an older brother, I believe trying to take more of like a counseling role, more say like more so just like kind of helping bros if they ask for help, or just putting my input in is a lot more beneficial at the end of the day. Um, so that's like essentially how I approach and how I balance it out. So yeah.
So looking back so far as your role as a brother, like what are your biggest strengths and weaknesses, or like what's your biggest like accomplishments and then like your failings? That's yeah.
Yeah. So retrospectively, going back and looking more at like accomplishments, I feel like I was able to experience a lot of new things and add my own viewpoint and contributions to return to our chapter specifically. Um, whether it's through like minor board, e-board, I was able to create events. I was able to learn the ins and outs of how an organization is ran. Also, I was able to have like a class. Um, it's just learning the
Yeah.
experience of things. I feel like is a really good accomplishment to have. Um, and my shortcomings, I feel like definitely um, being more socially active within the fraternity, building a little bit more closer bonds with bros is what I inevitably regret the most because um, just how I am as a person, also how my life is progressing or how my life was, is that it kind of took up a lot of more my time. Um, Meaning that like working and having a constant like schedule to keep a hold of, like between academics, working, and school, and then also social life is like balancing act, like we talked about before. I think ultimately that was my biggest shortcoming, was building more of like uh, a more in-depth relationship with bros. Um, like it's like if we meet up, that's cool. Like we're all friends, we're all acquaintances, right? But for me personally, I like more of like deeper relationships. I feel like there's just more to that than just just talking casually on campus or something. You know, yeah.
Well, do you have like a favorite memory with your bros?
Um, my favorite memory is more of like probably going to a conference in New York. That was definitely more of a highlight. This was like 2 years ago. Um, it was definitely more of a different experience. You get to see how bros are when we're all together, more say, and it was fun just drinking and like, having fun with people, getting to know new bros from different organizations, and just kind of broaden my horizons and also just to get explore like new areas like New York and stuff. It's like always fun to travel with bros. Um, Definitely wish we can do it more because of the COVID situation, it's definitely a lot difficult to do.
I mean, do you have any? You said like one of your strong points as a brother was counseling. Do you have like any advice for brothers in the future?
Mm-hmm. Definitely try not to um get like bite more than you can chew type thing. Um, to kind of like don't stretch yourself out too thin. Um, because burnout is real. We've seen it happen with like multiple people, and people, especially if like you still have so much more in your life to focus on, like your job, your career, social life outside of the fraternity. It's like try to balance as much as you can. Don't burn yourself out too much because yes, fraternity is a good social life. Fraternity is a good, or our organization is a good social life. It's a good career point. It's also really good resource, and it's also really fun to be in. But just know that like there's other parts in your life that you can develop, and if you invest too much into the fraternity and you put your all into it, you're gonna get burnt out real quick on just other things in general. So that's my advice for more newer, newer brothers.
Okay. Do you have any like goals left, like before you finish school, in terms of like fraternity
Um,
or for school?
mhm. For school, academically wise, I want to at least graduate with like a job already in hand as I graduate, because I feel like that will just take a lot more pressure off when graduating. Um, Other than that, just I really want to improve my social life. Um, as soon as COVID stops, maybe just go out a little bit more, enjoy the aspects of like, you know, enjoying other people's company, because um, like before COVID, we kind of just took advantage of like going out and like having fun and just going on a whim and just enjoying yourself. But since COVID, it's like, you realize that, yeah, it's a little bit more. We did take effort, you know, and I want to build more relationships and stuff like that. As soon as COVID ends, I'll definitely be coming out a lot
I like
more.
it.
Yeah.
So, hmm. One last question, Tree, before we finish it.
Mhm.
Like, what do you think makes a great brotherhood, like a great relationship?
Having an understanding of each other, I feel like, and that goes for me, it goes for every single relationship, understanding the other person, understanding their point of view, having that open mind when it comes to approaching someone is is basically, I feel like it's a big foundation to what makes a good relationship. Um, because once you understand that person, once you see where they're coming from, once you know their history, it helps you respect and also understand them a lot more, especially during these difficult moments where a lot of people are quick to judge. You know, um, let's say like that person makes a mistake, something goes wrong. Excuse me, something goes wrong. It's like, if you understand where they come from, what situation they're in, it'll be a lot easier to kind of more, not necessarily like empathize with them, but more um, bring more reasoning to people. But that's essentially what I feel like is a good that makes a good relationship in any regard.
Thank you so much, Tree. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. I mean, my pleasure. All right, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a good morning, good evening, good night. AY.
Why?